The debate as to what is a historical land injustice is not new.
And more importantly, what we require as a community.
A number of forums have been held at which this issue has been a subject of a protracted discussion in Kenya. And so when the land issue became the subject of discussion in the just released EACC report, it was not news to many Kenyans.
Our responsibility, even before government raids on grabbers, to protect the land that is within our vicinity, because we are the most affected. The moment we do that, and how are we going to do that? By creating awareness. Let people know that land exists, public land, and it is theirs, and it affects how they access services.
We want to do away with land grabbing, just give the information to the people, because our constitution says all power and sovereignty belongs to the people of Kenya. But what lacks in terms of these people safeguarding and protecting this land from illegal or irregular allocation is do not have information.
Identify all public parcels of land, including lots, which are defined under the Land Act as land. When we have identified the parcels that belongs to the community and the public, that data be kept at the land registry. That these parcels of land are the parcels of land belonging to the government of Kenya.
The suspended cabinet secretary for Lands, Charity Ngilu, is being investigated for alleged inflation of a valuation of a farm the government wants to purchase for squatters in Likoni by 110 million. Out of this amount, she was allegedly to be paid 65 million as kickback. It's such issues that have triggered the rise of Groots Kenya, a network of women with initiatives that are community-centered and women-led. The latest initiative of Groots Kenya is meant to halt land grabbing. The initiative entails a pilot project for land mapping in Lari constituency. The inventory is created through use of geographical information system and global positioning system, indicating information on public land such as location, acreage, and current use.
We don't bring in experts to go and do all the work. We appreciate that community members have their role to play. So what we did is ensure that we train them on what you need when you are undertaking GIS mapping. You need to identify the coordinates. How do you do it? You need a gadget or any device that can communicate with the satellites. So first of all, in the first initial steps, we used handheld GPS gadgets that could be able to communicate with the satellites and record the unique geographic coordinates of that area. Then as we proceeded and learned how to do this process well, we have now gone to using smartphones to undertake GIS mapping, because the third generation, fourth generation smartphones have location ability where you can actually locate a facility or a particular area using GPS.
The initiative is meant to secure land for social utilities like schools and hospitals.
Then for us to help in increasing or enhancing access to services for women, then we must really monitor how public land is being put into use. Previously, we had a project where we are focusing on private land, how widows and orphans are disinherited when their parents pass on, and that was our entry point to the land sector. But then we thought even public land affects communities.
A land survey which the Swedish government funded established that communities have scanty information on public land as a resource and as an asset. The findings resulted in the launch of a digital mapping project.
There is a lot of grabbing of land in Lari sub-county, and this is the one reason which made us to take a step of the project of public land mapping, so that we can be able to access all basic services. And basic services are only provided in a land, because if you want a health facility, you have to put it in a certain land. So whenever there is land grabbing, you will not access the basic services, because where will they be placed? So after realizing there is a lot of grabbing of public land, or let us say not grabbing, illegal allocation of public land, we realized it is good for us as women, because we are the most people who are most in need of public land. It is good to fight for the ways which we can be able to safeguard all public land.
And now having a map for the whole of Nyandoma ward. And with that map, or with those parcels being identified, we can now engage the Land Commission to assist us to repossess those parcels of land.
Whereas many locals in Larry constituency embrace the digital land mapping, there is a dire need for the government to hasten the Community Land Act among the legislation as a way of achieving land reforms.
Most of those who are possessing grabbed land, they will come up with issues like why they acquired that land, or why they were engaged, they were entitled to that land is because they exchanged their land with some other parcels of land, but they are not able to show us who gave, what other land did they give for what other utility. They will start going to court, and that they have started doing. But I believe that the Land Commission has powers to repossess that land.
It is good to fight for the ways which we can be able to safeguard all public land. And this is provided by the National Land Policy in Article 60. That is Section 60. There is no current inventory of all public land. For the government to be able to safeguard this land, it was registered under the Permanent Secretary of Finance, but it was not safe still.
I think one of the greatest challenges is the lack of information. I know I said we are creating information, but in creating information, you also have to find it. So we had to do research, community research. Where is this land? What acreage was it? What was the originally intended purpose? Of course, to compare with the current use. And some of this information that does not exist anywhere. The government has no record. So you have to go to the ex-civil servant, the former chiefs, the elderly in the community. Of course, you have to peruse through government records, sometimes go to the Survey of Kenya. So I think that posed for us a bit of challenge in sense that you really had to speak to multiple partners for you to get one piece of information. And of course, then that translates to resources. It means you're duplicating resources.
Indeed, we do hope that something will be done to end corruption in Kenya. But remember, the fight against corruption is not a one-man show. It all starts with you and me, and that's our call to action. We do hope that there will also be thorough investigations to the cases in the next 60 days and the culprits shall be brought to book. Now I leave you with a quote that says, when the power of love shall overcome the love for power in this country, then Kenya will be a corruption-free country. Remember, you can always give us feedback. Our Twitter handle is at WTVKE and our Facebook page is WTV Kenya. Till next time, salute and God bless.